What was your holiday like? Well, I'm going to tell you how ours was. I'm dreaming of our special Christmas, just like the one we used to have. We'd go to the movies, IFC or Phil Forum. I'd bring my treats and my iced tea, 'cause I'm cheap. Now this year it's been so sad for us. The coronavirus fucked it up. 'Cause the black and the Jew, we couldn't do what we normally do. This holiday season sucked my ass.
That was beautiful, Hassan. That was so touching, so moving. Yes, COVID-19, the virus, has fucked up something else.
Yes.
Every year for our 33-year marriage, on Christmas Eve, we did the same thing.
That's right.
It was really the only tradition that we have.
Right.
That long. I mean, you know, we've done other things, but
that
not as something that we have to do. It was only Christmas Eve. We would go to the movies, and then we would go to Chinatown. Now, this is what many Jews do for Christmas Eve.
Yes.
You go to the movies, and you eat Chinese food.
Yes.
Now, I live very close to Chinatown, which for a cultural Jew like myself is like living near Jerusalem or Tel Aviv. I'm close to Chinese food. I'm like 10-minute walk from Chinese food. But here's what happened. Because of the virus, the movie theaters are all closed, and Chinatown, that eating outside thing, that's not my thing. So, and this is not just something that I've done with Hassan for 33 years. This is an Epstein family tradition. Our family, since I was like an 8-year-old boy, I don't even remember, probably before then too, I just don't remember it.
Right.
On Christmas Eve, my family would go to the movies, and then we would go out for Chinese food. Many other Jewish families did this. They would have Christmas Eve, movie, Chinese food. And this was a major thing, especially for my mother. Because many of you may have heard over the last few years what they call the war on Christmas. Bill O'Reilly, who was big war on Christmas, and everybody said, well, there's no war on Christmas. This is a Christian country. There's no war on Christmas.
Not whatsoever.
But that's not really true, because my mother was at war with Christmas.
She was the general.
She was at war with Christmas.
Yes.
In my house, there could never be a Christmas tree. Any Jewish family that had a Christmas tree, to my mother, that was a shanda. That was a disgrace.
What does shanda mean?
A disgrace, more or less. It's like a Yiddish word. I'm not sure of the exact translation if somebody speaks Yiddish, but it was a shanda. See, my mother felt like this, that the Christians, in her mind, were the enemy. She grew up in a different time. She grew up in a Jewish ghetto, Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, East New York, Brooklyn, New York. That was all Jews. And on the holidays back in the old country, my grandmother would tell me back when she was in Poland or Russia, where they didn't even know where they were. It was like a shtetl. During Christmas and Easter, the Christians would come in and, beat the Jews, sometimes rape the Jews for killing Jesus.
Right.
Mainly Easter was the big time. That was when they really, were upset, because that was when they felt the Jews were the Christ killers. But even Christmas time, it was fun. Like a Christmas Eve in Poland, you'd come into town and beat up the Jews and rape a few Jewish chicks. So my mother always had this big thing. And here in America, they were starting to loosen that up a little bit, with some Jews having trees, but not my mother. So this was a major family event, and not just for my family. This was for many, many Jewish families, Hassan. Jewish people of my mother's generation. Chinese food was a revolutionary thing for them, because
Wow.
their families, their parents were kosher. So for the Jew to come to America and be able to eat pig was a kind of revolutionary act.
Radical.
And it,
Yeah.
for a lot of people from my mother's generation, this was a big statement. So every year, a big statement. This was not like a little thing. You were eating pig in public. You know, that's like it's like eating pussy in public. For them, it was like eating pig
Oh
in
my
public.
gosh, no.
You know, I got the chance to eat pussy in public at Plato's Retreat, which we'll get to later in tonight's show.
Yes.
But they could eat pork in public.
Let's give everything away, okay? Let's just give it away.
I'm excited. I'm excited
but
because
let's
even
just give it
talking
away.
about Chinese food.
Oh, if
even-
I had did that just then?
Oh, please.
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 Yeah.
So this was a big thing, and I've been doing it since I'm a child. I tried to explain the Jews' love to Chinese food when I first met Hassan, but she couldn't, you know, as usual, she didn't believe me.
Well, it wasn't a point that I didn't believe him. You have to understand
it was a
me.
point.
No, it wasn't a point. See, by the time I had met Epstein, right, I was on my spiritual journey, right? I had went through Islam, Yoruba, yoga, everything, right? Est, yeah, all that stuff. I had.
Were you ever a Moonie?
No, it was
You were a
never a Moody.
Scientologist?
Didn't do Scientology. Wasn't a Mooney.
Okay.
No.
And pretty much every other thing she tried.
Yeah. So,
How does this have anything to do with Chinese
well,
food?
if you let me tell my side of the story now, okay, you told yours,
I did,
okay,
yes.
gave away early parts of the show, yes, but
You were so, she
yeah.
was so petty. So petty.
So anyway,
Petty.
I didn't believe this was true at first when Epstein told me. You see, my family were from the South, right? My mother was a home cook, a farm girl. We didn't eat Chinese food. We didn't order. They were not about tipping. They did not do that stuff. My mother was like, I know how to cook fried rice. I know how to cook chicken. I know how to cook vegetables. I don't need to be out there ordering it. I don't know if their hands are clean. I mean, that's my mother. That's how she talked, right? So when I met Epstein and he was like, you know, Christmas, it's the whole thing about this whole Chinese food.
You realize, Hassan, that when I grew up, we ate Chinese food 4 nights a week in my house.
We never, I think by the
We
time
didn't always
I got
go to the
high
restaurant.
school,
We didn't always go to the restaurant. Sometimes we'd take it out.
we
But
didn't do that.
In my family, we ate
didn't do
Chinese
that.
food 4 nights a week. My mother would cook 2 nights a week, and one night we'd go to the kosher deli.
Oh no,
That was
no,
what
no,
that
no,
was
no,
what we
no,
that
no,
was
no,
our
no,
eating
no.
thing. But Chinese food was definitely the main
My
thing.
mom cooked every night. I think it wasn't until maybe I got in 12th grade. One time they took us to McDonald's, but they were not about that. So I found out that this was a belief that the Epstein family had. And they were not just the Epstein family. I found out a lot of Jewish people felt this way about Chinese food, which I never did.
You see, when we would go to the Chinese restaurant, and you know this is true, this is when my family was the happiest. For some reason, right? You even commented on this.
Yeah,
We would laugh, and
they
we
were
would.
so like joyous. They were never like that no other
The
time.
maitre d' at Joy Tang Chinese restaurant in Canarsie, he would greet us at the door. He would speak Yiddish.
Your father would almost be crying.
Because all their customers were Jews.
Everybody in the restaurant
We're all
when we
Jews.
went, when I first started.
If you opened a Chinese restaurant in a
was
Jewish
Jewish.
neighborhood, you made millions of dollars. And they loved us. They loved us. They would know our names.
amazing.
They knew what we ordered. This wasn't a big thing. And even when you and I, this is a pretty funny story, we told my parents that we wanted to get together with them, that we had something to tell them.
Oh yeah, and they, you know, in their minds, they're like,
We've been living together.
okay, she's having a baby.
Yeah, they thought we would have a baby.
And what we told them was, we just want to get married. And, you know, their response, well, then this will be great because, you know, you'll be having a baby.
Nah, we told them we're not having a baby. But we knew how to sue them because it was over Chinese food.
Yeah.
There's something for a Jew when you're eating a roast pork lo mein and roast
I
pork
still
dumpling.
don't get it. I still did not get it.
It's just a Jewish thing.
No,
It's a Jewish thing, Hassan. But not only Chinese food, you'd also do the movie thing. Right, in our tradition.
Yeah, every Christmas we
New
would
Year's
go.
Eve we go to movies.
The movie is.
It's quiet. Usually
it's Jewish
not,
people.
And it's just a few,
mostly,
you know, and less and less
Jewish
Jews.
people.
Less and less Jews are around.
Yeah.
So and we are just very blessed because our apartment literally is about 3 minutes from the Film Forum, and 3 minutes from the IFC Center.
Even the Angelica.
And the Angelica.
Yes.
So these are all movie theaters that don't show the basic Hollywood garbage.
Yes,
These are like, they show a lot of foreign films, documentaries, especially the Film Forum.
Yeah.
It's not a great, like, comfortable place with, like,
but with,
it's universities.
Nice.
What do they call that? Stadium
Yeah,
seating.
and it's not massive. Massive, so
tight,
it's comfortable.
But the movies, you love the movies. These are movies that were really great. And the IFC Center, they're a little more modern, but it's
also the thing we notice is we're probably the youngest people in there. When we go to these movies, it's not, we don't notice many young
movie
people.
theaters. Well, the COVID's going to kill the industry anyway, but it was dying anyway because young people want to stay home. They don't want to go out. They want to watch Netflix and whatever. So we were like, all right, what are we going to do for Christmas Eve this year? So I go online and I see that the Film Forum is streaming movies, and they're calling it a donation, and IFC is doing the same thing. It's not going to the movies, but we figured, you know what? Let's keep the tradition alive.
Yeah.
We'll stream a movie and watch it on our which I find kind of bizarre, but we did it. So we streamed the movie, and, you know...
See, what he's not telling you is that we didn't order Chinese food.
No.
I cooked, and maybe he'll tell you about the great meatballs that I made.
Yeah, we may get to that, but let's go. So we you know, tell them about the movie.
We went to see a movie called Sing Me a Song.
We went to see the movie.
Yes, we went to see the movie because we set up our area like it was a movie theater. Now, I'm the person. I always bring my own snacks to the movie. I just don't see the point. And I know it's politically not right of spending like $10 on a box of popcorn. So I bring my own iced tea or water. So I had my stuff right there, right? So
we're watching the movie.
Yeah,
and you know, I do what I always do. I start to, you know, get nasty with her. I start like squeezing her.
And I'm like, no. See, he's lying. He's one of these people, and I have a thing that, you know, you could say it's a stereotype of black. I ask questions during the movie.
That's true, too, but why are you saying I'm lying? I do make out with you and try to mess with you in the movie theater. I always do that. I've always done that with you.
Yeah, but after a certain
maybe it wasn't you, it was the woman next to me.
Yes, the woman next to me,
so I'm lying.
Yeah.
You know, and she's an improv teacher. By the way, if you don't know the rules of improv, you're supposed to accept all offers, even if they're not true.
Except for your husband.
She teaches improv and then breaks every rule of improv.
For your
you're
husband.
Lying. No, I wanted to act like I actually still make out with you, but you had to fuck the thing up.
I fucked it up like you fucked up the Plato's Retreat. Okay?
It's so important that she got that line in.
So
important.
We went to see the movie in our living area. It was called Sing Me a Song. It was about these young monks who were living in Nepal, right? And, you know, just to give you a little background history, a lot of those young monks, their families wanted them to do the study of being a monk so they wouldn't have to be...
Buddhist monks,
so they wouldn't have to go into serving other people or being a slave. And so this young boy, however, by the time he was like 7 or 8, he knew he wanted to be a monk. So we kind of following his journey. And what the question was that, can these young monks still be able to do their practices with the infiltration of technology? Now, why it was called Sing Me a Song is that he was online with this young lady who worked in like what you call a club, and what she did was sing, and he found this so fascinating, so he set up to go see her. And you know how a lot of times people lie about what they look like, so when they saw each other, it wasn't anything what he said or what she said. So what you saw is all these young monks are like, you know, they're doing the chants and the prayers, you know, but they have their phones that they're looking at and they're playing video. They were obsessed with video games, so it was kind of sad.
Well, what happened was this was like this was in Nepal, but it's true in Tibet too, where the monks, the young monks, their parents let them start living in the monastery very young. And, you know, as a boy, and I'm sure the girl, I don't know if they have nuns. I don't know if there are nuns.
You very seldom they show monks. You.
But, you know, as you're growing up as a teenage boy, whether you're a monk or not, you probably get a little horny. And, you know, in the monasteries, I guess they had techniques to help them. I don't know.
They just kept them praying.
I'm guessing. But now, these young monks, they have the internet. And they're checking out all the porno and all this stuff. And it was like, this is a deep thing because... this tradition of, you know, training little boys since they're very young, is a Buddhist tradition. And, will they be able to keep them interested in being monks now that they have the internet and can see, girls twerking,
the outside world,
twerking their asses? So,
so imagine that, right?
You're a monk. You've been training as a monk. And
you're in retreat.
Now you're in your phone and they're twerking their ass. So it's a.
How you gonna concentrate? I love Buddha, but that's a heavy thing, a heavy competition.
It's a hard thing to concentrate on.
Yeah,
so we watched the movie. To me, watching a movie at home is not anything like being in the movie theater.
No, it's not.
And, once again, we had to make, it ruined something that was kind of like, almost like a nostalgia thing for me. It was almost like nostalgia. You and I, on Christmas Eve, we would go to the movies, then go to Chinatown, lobster. I mean, it was a Jew's, like a Jew's wet dream. A wet dream for a Jew. Chinatown, right near my house, movies. What could be better? And
for me, once my parents died, because I used to go up and visit them, and then when my father died, I'd go visit my mother. And after my mom died, it was like,
But you went on Christmas Day.
I went on Christmas Day.
Our date was Christmas
Eve. But even, I'm just making a point. For me, the whole holiday thing of feeling like I had to do something outside of visiting my parents, I really wasn't doing. I wasn't celebrating it. So it was just like, well, this is a wonderful tradition for me. I'm doing something that I like. I'm with him, and we're having a great time, great food, and we're seeing a movie, and it's like, damn.
Yeah. So even that ended because of COVID, but it got us thinking about nostalgia, and then it got us thinking about our book, this book right here, What You Can and Cannot Say During Interracial Sex.
Yeah.
And she's here to tell you that you should buy this book. You should spend some money on this book because Mommy and Daddy need money.
I don't know why you won't buy the book.
We want the money.
Okay, I just won't speak. Let me speak for them. Okay. I don't know why you won't get this, all right? My mother and father worked really, really hard, all right? They worked really hard. And all you have to do is just buy the book, okay?
Man, we cut the price on the book.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You can go on Amazon after the show. It'll take you right there.
Daddy,
and we cut the price. But let's move along.
Okay.
Let's move along. Got to keep your eye on the clock.
Okay.
So this is from our book,
Thank your
What
daughter.
You Can and Cannot Say During Interracial Sex.
Thank your daughter.
Sweetheart, I love you.
Okay, all right.
Naima Jr.
Yeah, it's my girl. Okay, so this is about the 70s.
Speaking of nostalgia.
Yes.
Right? Do we segue? Are we the kings of segues?
Yes, we are.
Right.
Yes, it was dirty, crime-infested, and collapsing, but there was one hot, intense sexual revolution taking place when we were right in the middle of it. And they didn't call it Fun City for nothing. What am I talking about? New York City. There were swing clubs like Plato's Retreat, where suburban couples from Long Island got blasted on drugs and shared their partners with European tourists in the city for a night of sexual debauchery.
Plato's Retreat, it was group sex.
Yes.
In the 70s, I was a young man.
Yes.
And you needed a date to get in.
Yes.
And I wait in the street, and I actually had the nerve, and I had a woman take me into Plato's Retreat.
Oh, good karma.
And it was great karma.
Yeah.
And I'm making out with her. There's like a group room, and she's orgasming like crazy. Like I'm facing her, and she's going crazy, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I am the king of love. I am the best lover. And then I realized some guy was going down on her while I was kissing her. It had nothing to do with my magical kisses.
What a release to yes,
but the 70s, Plato's Retreat, man.
Yes,
I was there.
Okay, now you have lipstick all on your mouth.
Who cares though?
I'm just telling you. I care about that stuff.
Just carry
Can
on.
I just wipe it off your mouth, please?
Oh, yeah,
please,
of course, Naima. Of course.
Thank you.
Okay, enough. Leave some skin on my face.
Okay. Now, you look at that. You got
Who cares? I don't care about these things.
Okay.
If I have lipstick on my face, so what? Put more lipstick on my face. Who cares?
All right, calm down. You don't have to get all bent out of shape over it. You wonder why your blood pressure's so high.
My blood pressure's not high.
Check it now. Yeah. Okay. S&M clubs filled the meatpacking district at night and stayed open until the butchers arrived for work at 4 a.m. These clubs were underground yet open to people who wanted to watch or participate in the kinky behaviors that would have made the Marquise de Sales blush. The club goers would then go to after-hour clubs where the party went on until the early morning hours. I don't know if any of you had that experience where you remember leaving the clubs as working people were going to work. You were doing what we called the walk of shame.
That was torture. Like,
Yes.
you'd leave a club, it would be daylight
and,
outside.
You're like this.
You know,
You're
the
like
club
this.
was pitch black. It was
Yeah.
like some kinky, crazy
Yes,
shit going
yes,
on. The 70s
yeah.
were the greatest
Yeah,
time
yes.
in New York City. It was
Yes.
disgusting and dirty, and that's sort of what it's going to be again now as the economy will continue to tank here. You know, I'm already seeing on the trains you now have graffiti again. There's a lot more crime. It's going to be like the 70s, but the 70s had one great thing, that there was crazy sex going on in Fun City.
Mm-hmm. The club goers would then go to after-hour clubs, and you would just swear to yourselves that you would never do it again if God would just bring down the high and turn down the sun, because everything seemed bright. And you knew as you were walking that you looked out of place, like something, you weren't with the mix of people going to work or going to school. And why was this? Cocaine and Quaaludes were the popular drugs, and LSD and mescaline were available in most city parks 24/7. A day, yes,
wow.
yes. Disco, jazz, rock, funk,
man.
and soul were all on
70s.
fire, and live
70s.
shows would go on for hours. These was before MTV was born and killed the radio star and killed every fucking thing. Thanks a lot, MTV. Thank you.
The music was great in the 70s.
Yeah.
The great
Everyone was
Allman
experimenting,
Brothers.
yes, with sex and drugs. A rare moment in time when people were exploring and not being judgmental about other people's choices. No fucking body cared as long as you left room for them to do what they wanted to do. That was really important. Nobody cared.
Right. No, the 70s was a great time. I mean, it was a totally, the 60s had happened, and it was sort of like just it kind of was like the continuation of the 60s. Mm-hmm. But people were very free, and they were willing to try a lot of different things.
Yep. Can you go get the door?
Absolutely.
Thank you. See, I think that this time was so important because people experimented not just with drugs and not just with sex, but with music. I mean, it was not just one genre of music, or everybody felt it had to be put into a category. And it's like we're almost scared to do that. Like we've got to put something. Who is it?
It's me, Stevie Sports.
Stevie, how are you?
It's so good to see you. I haven't been here in a few weeks.
I know.
It's so nice to be back. I'm so excited. I'm always... I'm sorry. Is this your child?
Yes.
Oh, what a pretty little girl. Isn't she beautiful? Oh, yeah,
We have the same outfit.
First of all, I'd like to wish you a very happy Christmas and a wonderful Hanukkah. I want you to have a Kwanzaa. I also want to wish you a happy Kwanzaa.
She wants to know, why are you talking so loud?
Because I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be part of the Dirty Truth Tellers once again. It's so nice to see
You
you.
have lipstick on your mouth.
I'm a bit of a transvestite too. I'm in the village. I figured, why not go for it? I'll wear a little
That's
lipstick.
what you thought?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm a transgender, whatever. I'm trans. Whatever that is, I am it.
Oh, you sell it. Wow, you're open.
I'm open-minded.
Yes, I bet you are. Now,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you a question.
You have questions for me.
have
You're so
questions.
official. You got your papers.
Yes, I have questions.
Yeah,
Yes.
give me some of your questions.
Okay. Now, I know you are really big on college sports.
I'm big on sports.
Yeah, but I
especially
know-
horse racing,
yeah,
but
that's-
sports.
I
I
know
love a
you like
horse. I
college
love a
sports.
strong horse.
Okay, what do you think about the Giants, the coach from the Giants that left?
Let me tell you something. What happened was the coach's name was Brad Bilana. He's an assistant coach for the New York Football Giants. Mm-hmm. And midway through the season, in the middle of the season, he's a coach, right? He's the teacher, he's the coach.
Yeah, very
He gets
important.
a job offer to go coach, to become the head coach, because in the Giants he was just an assistant coach. He became the head coach of the University of Illinois. And in the middle of the season, even though he had promised to finish the season, he quits to take the job. But the thing that really amazed me was Brad Bielina was making $400,000 a year for the Giants.
Wow.
Not bad, right? Not bad. You can live on 400 G's.
Yeah, I could. Pretty comfortably.
But the University of Illinois was willing to give him 6 years at $4 million a year. That's $24 million. I got the numbers right here.
Okay, are you sure?
I'm reading it right off the...
Well, obviously, are you sure?
Now, here's the point. He's a college coach. These are kids who are going to school. None of these kids get paid. Think about this. All the players on the University of Illinois, they don't get paid. They get a scholarship. But the coach, the school is giving him $4 million a year
why are they giving him
for
so much
6
money?
years. Meanwhile, the professors, the adjunct professors, are making $12 an hour.
But why? Then why? I don't understand.
Because football brings in money to the school. Don't you understand? Use your mind. It brings in money to the school.
You need to stop spitting
Use
on
your
me,
mind.
Okay.
So they give this guy, assistant coach, he's making $4 million a year. Meanwhile, the people who are teaching kids important things like history and they don't teach them those things anymore. They teach them how to get a job, but they're still charging a lot of money. And this drives me nuts about amateur sports. Look at who plays amateur sports. Mainly black young men.
Right.
Play football and basketball.
Right.
They give them a scholarship, but they have no guarantee when they're finished that they'll make pro sports. Meanwhile, they're playing football. They may get an injury to their knee.
Right.
The school gets all the money from the television, from the tickets. They give the coach $4 million, and you know what the kid gets? Bupkis. He gets bupkis. That's Yiddish for, like, bupkis. The snot in your nose, he gets bupkis. So this angers me. I'm sorry about spitting. I'm sorry about banging the table. But I don't know what to do.
So there's no union.
The kids can't get paid. That's the whole point.
Oh, that's right, because
they're in college. They're not professional.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the school is getting them billions of dollars from the TV and the tickets, and the kids get nothing. But Brad Bielina, he quits the Giants in the middle of the season. And that's my main point tonight that I want to make. Nobody has character anymore.
Well, see, takes me to my question.
Nobody has character.
But that takes me to my question talking about character. It seems like today, character is not something that you really need to have. I mean, look at our president. Not only does he not have character, he's a sore loser. Isn't he? He's a sore loser.
What a pathetic sore loser he is. How you
he
lost?
Threw a tantrum.
You're throwing a tantrum like you're 12 years old. You're trying to cheat. He's trying every technique. This guy is a sore loser. And there's nothing worse than a sore loser. So what are we teaching our children? When Trump leaves the White House, thank please God, whatever.
He ain't gone yet, okay?
When he leaves.
But you ever have somebody come over your house? Do you ever have that visitor?
That won't leave.
That guest that won't fucking leave.
The party. There's always one schmuck. You got to throw him out at the end of the night.
You know.
I know the guy, but I'm not going to say his name. But anyway, this Trump, what a pussy. This is the biggest coward that ever lived. A sore loser. He lost. You lost, you schmuck. You lost to Joe Biden. Very embarrassing. I admit that. It must be very hard to lose to a man that's got, he's not 100% there, and he still kicked your ass.
Kicked your ass.
He kicked your ass, Trump.
Kicked your ass.
So that's why. That's all I had to say. I see the clock. I have to get going.
But I liked what you said. I think that's important. What these CEOs of companies are doing to a lot of these kids. You know, they're thinking that maybe this will lead me to get a career, and they're just being used.
They're using them. They're using them like.
And if they don't, if there's something happens to them and they don't play sports, they might not even get a degree.
None of them are getting degrees. They're going to play sports. You're playing for you. It's too much of a money maker.
And I'm sure. Let's say I'm the math teacher, right? Yeah, I said math. Okay, I'm the math teacher.
She's the math teacher.
I'm the math teacher, and I got a kid that's not, doing his work. They're gonna come to me and say you can't fail him because he's our, starting point or whatever, and that puts the math teacher in a problem.
I have to go.
Okay.
How was I today? Did I stay in character?
Yeah, you just lost it.
I stayed in character.
Yeah, just to the
She's an acting teacher. Even though she doesn't follow the rules, she gives me a lot of notes.
Who's talking?
Oh,
You're still Stevie Sports. Get out of here.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, gosh. So you're
Hey,
back.
I'm back.
What door did you go out
wow. What can I tell you? I'm like the Laurence Olivier of the West
You're a
Village.
madman.
Yeah. So anyway, we have to say goodbye because I see
Yes.
the clock.
Yes.
And we do a shout out every week, and we started last week to honor our great friend Al Goldstein. For those of you who don't know Al, he was the publisher of Screw Magazine, and
Yes.
every Friday night he did a show called Midnight Blue. And every week he would always give someone a fuck you. So
Yes.
we gave our first fuck you last week.
But we're going to do our shout out first.
No, we're going to do this first, then you'll do the shout out, because I've already set this up. So
Okay, but I had
you
said
ever
it.
improvise?
My God, we do the shout out first.
We don't. Why is that a rule? Is there
Yes, it's a rule. It's right
Because
here.
it's there.
Shout out first.
We're gonna do the fuck you first because the shout out is about me. Can we end the show about me?
Yeah.
Jesus
Christ.
Gee. Anyway, fuck you, Larry Summers. This is the guy that Obama brought in after he destroyed the economy on Wall Street. He brought him back in to fix the economy. Isn't that a great move by Obama? Like, this is the guy that fucked everything up, but he's the guy that brought it in to fix it.
Well, Biden brought him in.
Well, now there's a new thing, and this is why he's getting a fuck you.
Fuck you.
He goes in the newspaper and says that the $2,000 that they were trying to get to the people instead of the $600, he goes, it's going to heat the economy up too much. It's going to heat up the economy. Yes. Really? It's going to heat up the economy? How is that? When you gave trillions of dollars to Wall Street, that didn't heat up the economy?
But 2,000's going to heat it up.
And the 2,000, people are going to spend it. That's the idea. You spread it into
on
the
their
economy.
rent, okay? They have no food
but
right now.
But they don't want to even give us that. Think about that.
Yes.
Every other country in the world gave people much more.
Yes.
So Lawrence Summers, fuck you.
Yes.
And now the shout out.
Okay.
That was a good fuck you.
Yes,
I like the way you did that.
yes.
You see, when you, I like the way you came back.
Yes.
And
because I'm one of those people that he fucked over. Okay.
I mean, $2,000. If we had gotten $2,000 each, that would be $4,000.
Yeah.
That would
and
be great.
I'm telling you, there are people that have no food, that are living in the streets.
Our daughter needs $600.
Yes.
She needs $600.
We have to take care of her. Don't move him. Don't move him.
$600.
Yes, yes.
And once again, I went to make a
yes,
move. The
yes.
queen of improv.
No. He said, "Don't move me." Our son
That's our
back
son.
there.
He wants the $600.
Yes.
You could have got, if it was 4 of us, each of us got $2,000. It'd be $8,000.
Yes.
So who's the shout out to, Hassan?
To my man, Epstein. His birthday is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Oh, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Right. Tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, this is December 28th.
Yes.
Oh, tomorrow's my birthday.
Yes.
Wow.
And what I want all of you to do for him is to subscribe to our show.
Subscribe to the show.
That would give him the greatest joy.
So I'm going to give you some great joy now. Let's do a little interracial loving for them. Let's do a nice real tongue kiss, even though I'm going to get the lipstick on again.
Yes.
How's my lipstick? Oh, I'm looking good. Look at that. So we're the black and the Jew. Don't leave because the Jackies will be by. They got some comments on the show. They got some shit to say.
So tomorrow's his birthday.
Oh, big deal. Like everybody cares about
She
that.
gave it a shout out.
Yeah.
She had everything. She has to argue about it.
And she has the
single
notes,
thing.
right? It's
She
like,
has her
come on.
notes. She has
Yeah.
her notes.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like about humans?
What,
They
man?
always have to get their own way.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
is
that's
that-
because they're always in control. They want to control everything. That's why I'm glad I'm a Jackie.
See, we don't have bodies.
No
We don't have-
form.
we don't have that.
We're
So
empty.
we're empty. All you people, you go to meditation class, you do yoga, because you want to get empty. But you
But
can't.
you can't because you're attached to your fucking body.
Right, you're so attached to
It
this.
stinks if you don't wash it.
The Buddhists used to say that
It
your
gets
body
old.
was a bag of filth.
Yeah.
But you guys don't believe that.
No, you think it's precious.
You think it's so great. But
It's not.
you see a tit and your dick gets hard.
A titty. Think about
Think
that.
about that. A cow has a tit.
Yeah.
There's another cow.
Yeah.
Or I like humans. Like guys will say, I
Pigs
only like...
have tits.
I
Why are you
only
so
like-
impressed when monkeys have tits? Why are you so impressed with a human's tit?
And is there a dog that says, oh, I'm not going to fuck that dog because it's white?
Yeah, how
And I only
stupid is
fuck
that?
black dogs.
Dogs will fuck a dog.
Dogs fuck dogs.
That's right.
That's what humans need to do.
Yeah, fuck everybody.
Fuck you. We're the Jackies.
Happy birthday.